He could deliver a lyric in a way that made it relatable for the common man.
When you get through when you're almost done.
He gave a lot of advice in his songs. He warned guys of what they should and should not be doing with their women, and did the same thing with women, too.
If he felt
to try to replace somebody who is really the biggest artist in the genre at the time was a huge task, but he was able to pull it off and really be able to make an identity for himself, even within gospel. Rome Wasn't Built in a Day was a perfect example of the Sam Cooke-influenced sounding Johnnie Taylor. You can even hear Johnnie Taylor doing the same type of runs that Sam Cooke was known for in his songs.
Do you hear?
Veteran of the Motown hit-making studio machine in Detroit.
Al Bell, he wanted to create sort of a combination of the Memphis sound and the Detroit sound. By bringing Don Davis into the picture, it was able to create a whole new sound for Stax that Johnnie Taylor was able to take advantage of.
When he started to produce Johnnie, it just, I mean, it was like magic. The two of them together, it was like magic.
That was kind of the beginning of him being this soul philosopher that could give people advice on how they should kind of go about their day-to-day lives and their relationships.
I always...
Jody's Got Your Girl and Gone became Johnnie Taylor's second #1 R&B hit.
Ain't no sense in going home.
The name Jody kind of became sort of a mythical figure in the early 70s. Even other artists started to do songs where they talked about Jody.
Don't like you, disco lady.
Even though it's called Disco Lady, it's not a disco song. The lyrics are disco. It's really closer to funk than it is disco.
Dance so fine, girls. Sitting next to
Disco Lady was kind of the high point and the beginning of the end for Johnnie Taylor.
got me hypnotized.
Rated X peaked at number 17 on the charts, a respectable showing, but far from the heights of Disco Lady.
Your Love is Rated X. It started to kind of bring about the downward spiral because the late 70s, it was about selling albums in particular. He wasn't really able to do that with those songs, so Columbia started to lose interest because he was not reaching the pop audience.
He simply reinvented himself once more, this time as a blues singer.
Malaco was really kind of the premier down-home Southern label at that time in the 80s for artists who were not necessarily considered mainstream anymore. So Johnnie Taylor was able to go to Malaco and create some songs that got him back on track.